But first, breaking tonight, President Trump's team is outlining the composition and mission for his newly created Board of Peace to oversee the Gaza territory. We're also learning additional details about the administration's plans for Greenland. Much of it has to do with U.S. national defense. Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy starts us off tonight live from the North Lawn. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. The only expense, according to President Trump, just now aboard Air Force One for the United States in this new Greenland agreement is going to be whatever it costs the U.S. to build Golden Dome interceptors there. And the president says the U.S. isn't just going to go take over small pockets of land there, but rather they are going to do so in conjunction with NATO.
Essentially, it's total access. It's there's no end. There's no time limit.
Forever into the future, the U.S. can count on Golden Dome outposts in Greenland if and when an agreement is finalized. President Trump posts further information will be made available as discussions progress. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and various others as needed will be responsible for the negotiations. They will report directly to me.
I was very excited to be back in Toledo today, but for a brief second I forgot where I was coming. I opened the window and I thought the president had sent me to Greenland.
The president says with Greenland, the U.S. is getting everything it has asked for.
We're not doing a 99 or a 10-year or anything else, you know, the famous 99-year deals that you hear about. Because countries can't do it for that. Countries go on longer.
Top cabinet officials see Greenland as important to the U.S. as the 49th state.
When we acquired Alaska, everybody thought that was, again, Seward's folly. There was only 33,000 people living in Alaska. Now there's 750,000. And as you know, Brian, it's a mineral and energy powerhouse as well as the front line of security.
Security in Gaza is coming together as the Board of Peace Charter was signed in Davos. The president says the Board of Peace is something that the world has never seen before, very special. Charter members include Israel, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar. European allies like the UK and France aren't ready to sign on to the charter, but the Board of Peace is moving forward regardless.
This board has the chance to be one of the most consequential bodies ever created.
And during the flight in progress back from Switzerland to Joint Base Andrews, President Trump was asked by a reporter if he plans to remain chairman of the Board of Peace even after he leaves office, after he leaves the White House. The president said he thinks theoretically it should be a job for life, but he's not sure if that's what he wants. Brett.
And Peter, why did President Trump sue America's biggest bank today?
Brett, President Trump sued JPMorgan for $5 billion because he says they debanked him unfairly for political reasons after the January 6th, 2021 riot on Capitol Hill. JPMorgan's response to that is that they regret President Trump suing them, but, and this is a quote, they say they respect the president's right to sue them. Brett.
Peter Doocy live in the North Lawn. Peter, thanks.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.